The next few years should be quite interesting and eventful in the world of both Alien and Predator. First and foremost, we have an official release date for the next Predator film, Predator Badlands. This is director Daniel Trachtenberg's follow-up to Prey, starring Elle Fanning. Unlike Prey, this will not be a prequel, but will be taking place in the future. According to a rough synopsis leaked by AVP Galaxy, it is described as a groundbreaking film in which one of the two main storylines delves into the intricate bond of two very different sisters. Their familial ties are put to the ultimate test as they pursue divergent paths and missions. Naturally, we can assume an alien hunter or hunters will be hindering these respective missions. And unlike Prey, Badlands will be getting a theatrical release. No doubt thanks to the very positive reaction to Prey and its performance on streaming, as well as the huge box office success of Alien Romulus. It looks like the studio finally has enough confidence to bring Predator to the big screen once more. It is slated to be released in just over a year's time, on November 7th, 2025. But that seems to be just the tip of the iceberg. Apparently, there has been a secretly filmed additional Predator film, also from Trachtenberg, which is set to release in some form prior to Badlands. 20th Century Studio president Steve Asbell discussed this and much more in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter published yesterday. He also revealed a sequel to Alien Romulus is in early development, and that we could also very well see a new Alien vs. Predator movie in the future. In the interview, he was asked what's next for the Alien franchise, and here's what he had to say. "We are working on a sequel idea now. We haven't quite closed our deal with Fede Alvarez, but we are going to, and he has an idea that we're working on. The two survivors, Rain and Andy, played by Kaylee Spaney and David Johnson, were real highlights of the film. And so I always think of it like, wow, where do people want to see them go next? We know there's going to be aliens. We know there's going to be great horror set pieces. But I fell in love with both of them, and I want to see what their story is." Of the Predator series, he confirmed Badlands is being released theatrically, and hinted at more. Yes, a Predator movie will have a theatrical. I'll tell you very simply. After Prey became a success, Dan Trachtenberg came back and said he didn't want to do Prey 2. And we're like, what do you want to do? And he rattled off a bunch of ideas that were really crazy but really cool. We've actually done 2 of them. 2 are coming out next year. One I can't talk about yet, but the other one is the live-action Predator film with Elle Fanning that just wrapped in New Zealand. That'll be out theatrically sometime next year. It's titled Badlands, and it is an absolutely bonkers idea. It's a sci-fi thing, but it's not what everybody thinks it is. And, I mean, it's awesome. It is so nuts, but in Dan, we trust. There's a second Predator movie that we have different plans for. Dan has actually directed both. It's a secret Predator movie that will come out before the theatrical one, but I can't say anything about it yet. Finally, Asbell was asked directly if there will be an Alien vs. Predator movie. He said, "Probably. It wouldn't be in the way you think. That's the thing. Not in the way that it will just be called Alien vs. Predator or anything like the original movies. If we do this, they'll be organically created out of these 2 franchises that we've continued with, characters that we fall in love with, and those characters will combine. Perhaps. But we haven't gotten to that point, and we're not just going to bang it out." Like many fans, I was originally hesitant and worried about the future of the franchise when Fox merged with Disney, but one voice that certainly inspired hope from the studio side was Steve Asbell. From the very beginning, you could see that he was a fan of both these franchises, and he championed for them, and quite frankly, if you have enjoyed the new Predator and Alien movies that have come out since the merger, a large amount of credit is due to Asbell. The directorial collaborations he's assembled have paid off enormously. Dan Trachtenberg and Fede Alvarez are incredibly talented writers and directors, and what they brought to these respective franchises has been wonderful. I'm very much looking forward to what they can further bring to them in the future, and I have a large amount of confidence that if an Alien vs. Predator movie does materialize in some way, it will be done in a very satisfying way, and in a way that we haven't quite seen before. Asbell seemed careful with his wording when it came to what their approach may be, and that we wouldn't necessarily get this big crossover event movie. It suggests to me that there could be potential to have, say, a Predator-branded movie that could happen to have an alien or aliens as part of it. Either in some minimal, aggrandized cameo, or even a larger part of the story that is still Predator-focused. That could be interesting. And of course, I'm hugely excited to see what could happen post-Alien Romulus. Like many fans, and apparently Aspel himself, I really fell in love with the Rain and Andy characters, and I'd really like to see more from them. Nothing is 100% set in stone just yet, but if they do get Alvarez back, along with Kaylee Spaney and David Johnson to return for their roles, hopefully that's what we get. There's still plenty of space between the events of Romulus and the events of James Cameron's Aliens, so there's so much story that could be told. Now that the cat's out of the bag when it comes to its connections to Prometheus and Alien Covenant, I think it could go any number of ways, and that's really exciting to me. And generally, as a fan, it feels really good that the series is on firm footing again. With all the excitement over Alien Romulus, it's easy to forget that there was a pretty lengthy period of time when we didn't even know when or if we'd ever get another Alien movie again. Now it's looking as if they'll be somewhat consistent over the next few years. That's something to celebrate, and something to look forward to. What would you most like to see in an Alien Romulus sequel? Comment below and share your thoughts. As always, I'd like to thank you very much for watching today, and until next time, this is Alien Theory, signing off.